house behind me. Oh, so dark, so scary. Better focus. There we are. So, come into the caves now. Let's walk from that direction, very dark. I lit all these candles myself. First, I'm taking you into a wine cellar. Now this cellar is the most recent part of the caves. It was built around 1815 by Yetis with spoons and a pot noodle. The pot noodle was just sustenance, had nothing to do with building the bloody thing. Get off. So I just kicked over an old woman. There's candles. Again, I lit all of these. It's fairly warm and quite close down here. There we are, there's carvings on the wall there, 1818, WC 1815, someone had a piss at 6:15 in the evening. Oh, that was nice. And just carrying on down here, what else can I show you? Nothing. No, there we are, there's some tally marks on the wall over there, see them? And band of ironstone around here somewhere. Where's it gone? Where's it hiding? Oh, there we are. See that running up the wall there? That's ironstone that occurs naturally around here. And this is where I stand. And it's coming back down the same one. La 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 la. Back up through there. Each one of these bins would hold 700 bottles. There's 40 bins in the caves in all, which makes 28,000 bottles, or a good evening with George Best. Let's take the torch with me. There we are. See, there's rubbish down there, and a lot of wine bottles, as you can see, stored around there. Okay, let's go back. At this point, I usually close this gate and point out how the street used to look. This won't interest you, so I won't bother. Let's pull that open again. And past all these candles. God, I had fun lighting all of them. I did it all from a single match. Now, this is several large steps. This has all been backfilled with rubbish. It's all broken bottles. They're original, up to 200 years old. There's what's called cross-bedding up there. It's where there's diagonal lines, because 110 to 120 million years ago, Dorking was under a beach. That's true, actually. So I thought I was lying, but I'm not, so shut up. And on here, more carvings on walls. Through here. Quite atmospheric. There we are, that's an old staircase. That was the original entrance, 17th century. It now runs up to Victoria Terrace and it's blocked up. Stairs are covered in crap and they're unsafe. I'm standing, where are we? Here. Hear that? I'm on a metal plate and looking straight up there is a well shaft. That now emerges 3 feet into a back garden of a house in Victoria Terrace. It's a few feet wider than usual, which is probably a medieval communal well. Yes. Now entering vintage ports section, vintage ports such as Dover and Calais. Moving onwards, a lot of the candles I've lit have all gone out, which is a bit shit. Oh, no, there's another one. I can't be asked. Cannot be bothered. So there's dark crap around here. Now, this is a lot wider than elsewhere in the caves. And it's kind of, as you can see, it's dome-shaped. And we think that what he actually tried to do is actually make himself a little cavern here, which would have finished at this spot, but he abandoned it and dug further down, the original chap who owned it. Onwards, there's lots of things down here, which, let's focus this a bit more. No, there we are. Bits of broken pottery and things like that. I washed all those and got them sorted out. And same goes for all this stuff here. That's still to go home with me and be washed. There you are. Bin 29, Sandymans, 1912. Year of the Titanic sinking. Bits of animal bone there. There's another well shaft here. La la la. And there's a really good well shaft just around here. There's a candle on there. And this well shaft goes down a bit and up a bit. Now see all these wooden things on the walls? These are not wooden things. They're called putlog holes. You see, it's a very narrow shaft, this one. I don't think I've actually looked through it before. That surprised me how narrow it is. A bit further on, this is a much later connecting tunnel. This links to the end of the broken through wall that was at the end of the first wine cellar. So we've come in a big square. This is much later. Very crudely carved, as you can see. It's not been done anything like any of the others. There's bits of ironstone lying around because the ironstone occurs naturally around here. More bands of ironstone you can see in the wall. Now if I move back, let's go straight through the port section again. Not me. Okay, so this is just a turn in the wall. Now, just come down that bit. There's some grooves in the wall there that would have marked where the ropes would have taken sand when it was being dug out. And there's yet another bit to go down yet. There we are. Still further. Goes down a hell of a long way. It's down here. Come back to that in a moment. And this is the little cavern at the bottom. This is a little seat down here. All these carvings on the walls still. Area of something. And this is the well shaft. So it's now looking quite atmospheric and spooky with all the coldness down here and things like that. This is probably bits of the old wellhead, mistaken 100 years ago by a little girl for being a wrecked boat. This would have been the water level, 4.5 feet for centuries, still deep enough in 1920 for a borough councillor to actually trip up and fall in and get soaking wet. Why this was here, well, we really don't know. Might have been used for some kind of religious meetings, but I don't think we're ever going to know for sure. Let's go straight back up here this way, and I will check out other things on the wall there. So it says CP. Let me zoom in. Now CP 1858. Chances are that this could have been something to do with the religious things. See the 8 at the end there isn't complete, twice the size, and you turn it 90 degrees, you get yourselves a little Christian fish symbol. Finally, this is where the floor caved in, and really worried the guides. They weren't here at the time. Now, point it up there, this torch. Can you see the top of the well shaft? Now bear in mind that's just where the metal plate was I was jumping on, that's not the actual level. Now if I shine this torch down here, you might be able to see if I zoom in a bit. It says TL WC WCE, and directly above it the oldest date in here, 1672. Other carvings on here, so there's one that says 1666 just there, but that's probably fake. W. Hoare 17, where's he gone? Yeah, W. Hoare 1765. William Hoare died in Dorking in the 1770s, in his 50s, and he's buried nearby, so he would have been in his 40s when he did that. I. Hoare 1765, that's someone stating their profession. R. Perring 1873, the Perring's family used these for storing stuff in. H. Young 1882, quite poignant. The last name on the war memorial outside from the 1418 war is an H. Young. And that's pretty much it. So now I go back up, and that is the caves.